Okay, just doing a quick equipment check prior to this weekend's investigation, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to make a quick video and run you through some of the kit we use during investigations. Going to start with the basics. I'm sure many of you will recognise this. This is a K2 EMF meter. The EMF stands for electromagnetic field. The theory behind this piece of equipment is that when a spirit tries to manifest or is close by, it will cause disruption to the electromagnetic field, and supposedly that will then be picked up by this device. As you can see at the moment, we've got a baseline reading of 0. It's a completely unproven science, as with anything really in this field, but it is a bit of kit that most paranormal investigators use. There's a number of outside influences that can cause this to activate. Things like fire escape signs, fuse boxes, and certainly where we spend a lot of our time in old buildings, the wiring that runs through the walls and the floorboards can really cause this to activate. That's why it's very important prior to starting any investigation that baseline checks are carried out for the room you're in. This usually involves one member of the team walking around the room with this device and just checking for any natural background readings. We can then make sure that the device is positioned well enough away from the equipment that's causing it to activate. There's other natural things that can cause this to activate as well. For example, a mobile phone. Things like my iPhone here receive push notifications, and when they're receiving data through, they will cause the K2 meter to activate. I'll just demonstrate this for you now. There we go, just receiving a phone call and it's lighting up like a Christmas tree. So, you know, if you're on an investigation and you've got your phone in your pocket and you're asking some questions and the K2 meter lights up, you think you've got some paranormal evidence when all you've got is an email. So we always make sure that our investigators have their phones off, and preferably not on them at all, but left in the kit room. Okay, just going to say we also use other types of electromagnetic field detector apart from the K2. We also have a MEL meter, another popular meter for paranormal research. This one was actually developed specifically for the paranormal research field. This is a EMF meter and a temperature sensor all in one, and it displays it on a digital screen. Unfortunately I don't have one here to show you at the moment. We also use something called a Gauge meter, which is another EMF device, and also standard digital EMF meters. Moving over here, we have what we call a contact temperature gun. A contact temperature gun gets its name from the fact it uses a red laser, and it bounces that laser off of a surface, say a wall, a ceiling, a floor, a window. It sends the information back and it displays the temperature on the screen there, which you can see there. We've got 24 degrees on my wall. The idea behind this is, again, baseline checks. When you go into a room, you can check the temperature of the walls, the ceiling, the floor. You can even turn the laser off so it records an ambient temperature. Then, if during an investigation you get a cold spot, which is another phenomenon widely associated with paranormal activity, you can retake the temperature and then you can analyse this later on and see if you've actually got any real hard evidence of any temperature drops. So that's quite a useful piece of kit. Staying with very common equipment that you'll find, here we have a digital voice recorder. I think that one's an Olympus one. And the idea behind this is you will record during a visual, maybe ask some questions and try to capture what we call EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon. That's a voice that you don't hear at the time, but for some reason shows up when you're doing your evidence review, and it's widely believed to be spirit voices. Sometimes you can actually ask direct questions and you'll hear yes or no's on your video, on your audio recordings at a later date. It's quite a fascinating part of the research. Moving along here, we've got another Sony voice recorder. This one, however, is running on a piece of equipment that we call a RawDiv Receiver. Now, this was invented in the mid-1960s by a Latvian scientist called Konstantin Rawvil, and he uses detuned diode radio receivers, which are these things here, to record white noise, another part of the radio wave which has been associated with EVP research. This one has a microphone on it, and the red bit at the side is a push to talk button. So the idea is you push the red button in, it activates the microphone and cuts out the white noise. You ask your question, you unkey the mic, record the white noise and listen for an answer. Now this bit of kit is best used in something called a Faraday cage. That's basically a metal box that cuts out any chance of getting outside influences through onto those radio receivers. This is a very experimental piece of equipment for us at the moment, and we've only used it on one investigation, and we haven't proven any good results with it yet, so this one is still very much in the testing phase. Okay, moving over here, we have a pretty nondescript Nikon digital camera. This one is known as a hybrid camera. That means it's a mix between a digital SLR and a compact. The reason it's a mix is you've got the larger lens on it, but it's not an SLR because you can't actually take it off. This one has some useful settings on the top up there, which allow you to use different picture settings and take long exposure photography. You can leave the lens open for up to 8 seconds to capture an image if the lighting conditions are correct. It's something that a few people experiment in within the paranormal field. Down here we have another digital camera, but this one is a special adaptation and it only takes still photographs in the infrared light spectrum. If you take a photograph with this one without a source of infrared light, then you'll just get a blank picture. Again, infrared lighting and certainly full spectrum lighting using the light spectrums the human eye can't see is another popular form of research in the paranormal field. One of the other digital cameras that we've got down here, believe it or not, this is a camera. This is a portable torch camera. It takes infrared photography, stills, video and audio. The quality on this one is not the best. As you can see, the lens there in the centre is really small, and it's just handy for slipping in your pocket and taking video and stills. But as I say again, it's not the best quality. The other portable camera that we use obviously is a camcorder. I can't show you that because I'm using it at the moment. But we do use this, which bolts onto the bottom. We generally use Sony camcorders as they have the best night shot facility, and unfortunately that's a facility which most modern camcorders don't have unless you want to pay thousands of pounds. So you're best just to look on eBay. The one I'm recording on now we picked up for about £60. It has night shot on it. However, if you bolt one of these onto the bottom, running off the battery pack, it really boosts the quality and the range of the infrared light. Okay, moving over here, I'll just switch this on. We have a Geophone. There it is. These come in various formats. This is a sound Geophone, as in when it's activated, the sound alarm goes off. We do have a noise meter, which is kind of like a Geophone, which uses lights, which will light up if the noise is around or you pick up vibrations. This piece of kit's ideal if you're using it in a room where you've had reports of ghostly footsteps. You can leave this in a room, maybe locked off with one of our voice recorders here, and if you pick up any vibrations on the floor, it will activate and sets off that really nice loud alarm. Okay, moving over here, we have something called a sonic ear amplifier. This basically is a personal ear amplifier that you use these headphones with, and it boosts the background noise so you can hear everything that's going on. It's not uncommon for members of the teams using these to report hearing real-time EVP, so if you've got a voice recorder there you'll likely hear it afterwards, but for some reason you can hear the phenomenon as it happens through these sound amplifiers. Again, they're quite early in the testing stage, but they have proved some pretty useful results so far. Okay, just moving over here, finally we've got a couple more bits of equipment to show you, and we've got a 4-channel digital video recorder. This one is set up for evidence review. As you can see, it's playing some video from a recent investigation. It has 4 channels. We were only using 2 on this occasion, and it uses a CCTV camera very much like this one. These DVRs are no different than any normal CCTV setup, only instead of fixing the cameras to the wall, ours are all in a portable state so we can set them up and take them down. Now the team actually have, you'll see a couple of people walking through there, the team actually have 3 of these setups, so it would enable us to record 12 channels simultaneously on 3 different recorders if we were in a location that was big enough and warranted it. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you here, I'll just unlock the laptop, is a standard Windows 7 laptop here, but this one's running some audio editing software. Now we use this for EVP analysis. If a team member believes they've got a EVP or maybe some strange footsteps or a sound, they'll send it through and I will analyse it using this program. Now it's not altered or doctored in any way other than to amplify the sound of the EVP and to reduce the background hiss and bring out the noise. And if I just play this for you here, I believe this one is on our website already. This is just some footsteps and the sound of somebody laughing. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. And that just allows us to edit our EVPs to make them easier to listen to. Okay, well I think that's about it for now. Obviously keep an eye on our website. We'll be posting up videos as we carry out investigations, and we'll hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.